By the mid-1980s, Las Vegas was in big trouble, and I mean big trouble. The allure of the once glittering oasis in the desert was quickly fading. Iconic casinos like the Flamingo, the Dunes, and the Desert Inn were aging badly. A major recession had taken its toll on the economy. Fewer people were visiting. Spending was way down. The mob was skimming everything it could, getting more violent and starting to scare off the tourists. And worst of all, a forgotten little town on the Jersey Shore was siphoning off billions in gambling revenue from Nevada casinos. As the 90s approached, Las Vegas was in desperate need of a revival. The area required a new vision, one that would transform its image, attract fresh investment, and solidify its position as the world's premier gambling and entertainment destination. And it needed a trail-blazing risk taker with huge balls to make it happen. Welcome to the Mirage, the casino that saved Las Vegas and changed global tourism forever.
It is November 22nd, 1989 at the neon-lit streets of Las Vegas, where the glittering oasis just got a little more magical. It's a historic day here in the heart of the desert. The Mirage Hotel and Casino, a $630 million marvel, has officially opened its doors on the iconic Las Vegas Strip.
When Steve Wynn was designing the Mirage, he told his friend, acclaimed landscape architect Don Brinkerhoff, to do research on sunlight and shade so that it could be believable and, more importantly, keep the promise of a realistic tropical paradise. He would use the phrase, "keep the promise," many more times to challenge his design team. Wynn wanted the Mirage to consistently deliver on the promise of an immersive tropical oasis in the desert from the moment a guest saw the volcano to the moment they left the resort. The rainforest atrium near the entrance is the perfect example of this. With its huge palm trees, exotic plants, and water features, it immediately immerses guests in a tropical environment unlike anything that had ever been seen before in Vegas. The expansive pool area expands on the theme. With lush landscaping, waterfalls, and lagoons, it keeps the promise of a South Seas island with the same attention to detail as the rest of the resort. Attractions like the white tiger habitat and the dolphin habitat really took it to the next level. For the first time ever, Las Vegas tourists could observe majestic tigers up close in a tropical environment designed to resemble their natural jungle habitat. The dolphin habitat featured a 2.5 million gallon saltwater pool with sandy beaches and dolphins jumping out of the water to show off for the crowds. At the Mirage, it was very easy to forget you're in the middle of the Mojave Desert, and that was exactly Steve Wynn's goal.
Although there are dozens of amazing hotels and casinos across the Las Vegas Valley today, the Mirage was the first property to give guests such an experience that they had never seen before. Steve Wynn's image was not to just be another casino with a standard hotel for guests to stay in between gambling sessions, but to be a large-scale resort with a wide appeal to a variety of travelers. The idea was that the resort in and of itself was a destination worth visiting, a place where someone could come to Las Vegas and enjoy their entire stay without once ever having to leave the property. One successful way that the Mirage accomplished this goal was with its unique pool. It was the trendsetter that other properties built in the 90s began to follow. They were able to create a pool area that was a desirable amenity where people could comfortably lounge around and spend the entire day there if they wanted. The pool was no longer just an afterthought at casinos. It became a major factor in the resort's overall appeal. For decades, guests have been dazzled just at the check-in desk of the Mirage when they see a 20,000-gallon saltwater tank behind the front desk that is reported as costing $1.2 million to build when the property opened in 1989. Several of the top aquarium design experts collaborated to create the unique aquarium. The aquarium is 53 feet long, 8 feet tall from top to bottom, and 6 feet deep from front to back. The acrylic used in the aquarium is 4 inches thick and it houses 450 fish from 80 different species. The Las Vegas of the 90s was full of iconic shows on the Strip, and one of the most popular was definitely Siegfried and Roy. The show ran from 1990 until 2003 after a tiger attack took place on stage during a performance. Just a few years after Siegfried and Roy finished performing, a new show at the Mirage would become incredibly popular, and that is the Beatles Love Show. This show by Cirque du Soleil began in June of 2006 and has been one of the most popular shows on the Strip for tourists every year, largely due to the popularity of the Beatles, some of the incredible choreography, and the fact that the show is appropriate for all ages of visitors. Over 11 million people have seen the show, according to an article by Travel Weekly. I was lucky enough to be able to catch this show in the final weeks of the property's operation. There's no shortage of times that Las Vegas has made its way into many popular movies and TV shows over the decades, and the Mirage is no stranger to media appearances. The most popular Vegas movie that Mirage was featured in is probably Vegas Vacation with Chevy Chase. Chase's character, Clark Griswold, routinely gets destroyed at the blackjack table by one dealer who consistently treats him like crap.
You don't know when to quit, do you, Griswold? Here's an idea. Why don't you give me half the money you were gonna bet? Then we'll go out back, I'll kick you in the nuts, and we'll call it a day.
Wayne Newton tries to steal Griswold's wife while his daughter discovers her wild side, and his son becomes Nick Papagiorgio and wins 4 cars in one night while gambling underage with a terrible-looking fake ID. The 90s were a great time in Vegas. The Spa and Fitness Center at Mirage is something that I was fortunate to experience before the closing. The check-in process at the spa was smooth, the locker room area was decently sized, and there was a small lounge with a TV playing sports with snacks and drinks to go along with it. The bathroom and shower areas were spacious and had every hygiene product you would need. The massage itself was quality, and afterward you could relax in the steam room, dry sauna, or in the designated hot tub area. The fitness center was decently sized as well and certainly had what you would need for a good session of weight training or cardio between all of the free weights, machines, treadmills, ellipticals, and bikes available. And lastly, there was the salon connected to these facilities as well for hair and makeup needs. One aspect of the Mirage being bought by Hard Rock was the closing of the Secret Garden and Dolphin Habitat that closed after the ownership change. The garden and habitat operated for over 30 years on the Strip and gave tourists a chance to see tigers, lions, leopards, and of course, dolphins, as a unique tourist attraction that helped distinguish the Mirage even further from other Vegas properties during the time of its opening. When Hard Rock took over Mirage in late 2022, one of the focuses the property said they had was that they wanted to be a place that catered to locals. They did this by offering an upgraded tier level to local residents so that they would not have to pay to park. With the eventual opening of Hard Rock Hotel, featuring an additional hotel tower and gambling area, the question will eventually be answered as to whether or not the company continues to put much focus on locals when it opens in 2027. Hard Rock did have more friendly table minimums than many other Strip properties, like regularly offering $10 craps or roulette, despite it being on both 00 and 000 roulette.
Good morning. So I got the room for this video because I really want to just have access to the entire property. So this is definitely not my normal hotel review video, and I actually debated even staying here for the night, but glad I did, because I look back, decades from now, I'll probably be glad that I actually did choose to stay for the night in the closing weeks of this property, because I have stayed here before in the past, but one more time for this situation was probably fitting. So got the room, $66, called over the phone, booked over the phone, and that was cool because they were running a promo that I was eligible for. I found out then there was no resort fee, so $66 and I think 50 cents out the door, but well worth it. Got to go hang at the pool for a bit, got to go see the fitness center. I mean, had access to everything, so that part was pretty cool. And hey, we'll do some employee shout outs, right? I got to interact with some cool people while I was here. So first, Ayla, she was the operator when I called over the phone to help me book everything. Michelle in the high limit slot room. Robin, the front desk, she's a local here from Henderson. Marlene, who's giving out towels at the pool, she's also local here from Las Vegas. Edwin, security at the pool, and Wilma at the Players Club, who's from Hawaii originally. So they were all cool. They were nice as I was going throughout the property, gathering footage for this final video for posterity. So hey, wherever any employees, or for all the employees, whether you started here in '89 or worked here in '89 all the way up to today, wish you well going forward wherever you may be in your future endeavors. I'll have to see you guys back here in 2027 when this is the Hard Rock Hotel.